All right, Orange Crush workout number 22. What you're gonna be doing for the general warm-up is starting with some 90-90s and then basically just working their way from cat-cows to standing. So 90-90 pigeon push-ups, coming over, folding over. And if they can keep their hands off the floor, that's gonna be a little bit better. And then working from cat-cows. So you'll probably wanna hit like 6 or 7 of each of the movements that I'm gonna show you. Cat-cows, and then up dog, down dog, and then world's greatest stretch on each side. Again, 6 or 7 of each of these. Then some inchworms, walking in and out. And then bootstrappers here, making sure that they really bring their chest up and then drop it low. And then lastly, once they're standing, I would have them go side to side a couple times on each way, and then kind of diagonal reaches a few times on each side. That is the general warm-up. Then I'd have them come over, I'd explain the workout. What the workout is, 1 minute and 15 seconds of work, and then 15 seconds of transition. And they're gonna go through 5 rounds of 4 different movements. As far as the room setup goes, you'll have boxes set up against the wall of some different heights. For the hip thrusts, maybe have one 18-inch box out for like a Jeff or some really taller people, a couple of 15 inches, and then maybe a 12-inch for our shorter clients. So yeah, hip thrusts against the wall, rowers here, and then I would probably have the bikes set up kind of in a line here, so that way this area is open and you can set out some of those thicker blue Airex pads for people's half-kneeling dumbbell clean and presses, and so they have access to the dumbbells. But yeah, so like I said, minute 15 work, 15 seconds of transition, which means that 15 seconds is gonna go by pretty dang quick. As much as this is intervals, they're basically moving the whole time. So just let people know that at the start. Like, look, this is about kind of sustainable effort, because that 15 seconds is gonna go by so quick. They don't want to think about this like, oh cool, I have intervals and I'm gonna get a lot of rest between. That's not gonna be the case. Hip thrusts. Like I said, this box would be against the wall. People can do this with a single dumbbell or with a pair of dumbbells. I would make sure that I'd prefer people to do a single dumbbell and only go to a double dumbbell if they need it because they're working heavy enough. I don't want people using like 2 10-pound dumbbells. That's just gonna be silly. If they're using a single dumbbell, just making sure, I always explain that you want the shoulder blades to be kind of sitting on the top lip of that box. If they're using a single dumbbell, trying to kind of push that into the hips as they come up and control it down. I always tell people to keep their eyes on their hips or on that dumbbell. That way we're working the glutes and not the low back, sorry. If they do want to do a pair of dumbbells, same thing, they'll kind of push into their thighs, and then they're driving up, controlling down. Again, we've got that box set up against the wall so that way it's not sliding back the whole time. Yeah, then on the rower, and then those half-kneeling dumbbell clean and press. I want this to be relatively strict, so yes, it says that it's a clean and press, but it's kind of more of just like a powerful curl and press rather than a full clean. So again, kind of like a powerful curl and press, nice and controlled. Curl, press. It'll be the hand that's opposite of the knee that's forward. And then lastly, they'll be biking. I do have up on the TV slides, for the row and the bike, I want them to go the first 30 seconds harder, and then the last 45 seconds moderate / easy-ish. I don't want that to be really easy because basically the point is that the hip thrusts and the dumbbell clean and presses are kind of like slower strength, that they're going to be able to bring their heart rate down a little bit while doing those, and that the rower and bike, they're trying to give it a pretty decent push on. So again, that's 45 seconds moderate / easy, but shouldn't be too easy there. Yeah. as far as weights, hip thrusts, people should be using some heavy freaking weight. Those are movements that people can move some weight on a hip thrust, so make sure that they're grabbing out some pretty heavy dumbbells. And then for the half kneeling dumbbell clean and press, I would say kind of standard dumbbell overhead pressing weight, but at the same time, it is only 6 on each side. And if they're not going, again, those are kind of the more like pacing themselves, more slower strength movements. So they're not going to get through a ton of rounds, so they can go definitely on the heavier side of what they would overhead press. So I would say trying to have ladies maybe grab 20s even, or grab a 20-pound dumbbell for that. And then trying to have guys maybe 30 pounds or heavier for those. So yeah, that's all I've got. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, big thing is just making sure to remind people, yes, it's intervals, yes, there's transition / rest time, but it's only 15 seconds. Like, they're pretty much going to be moving the whole time. So have fun.